Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to be using the Easy Stitch sewing machine that I picked up from Tuesday Morning to Sew Paper. I already gave a little quick demo review kinda on felt when I did the eyeglass holder copycat project. So what I want to do is just pull out some paper, and I believe that we're going to be working with the Atlantic collection, and I'm going to take about 4 or 5 of those sheets of paper and stitch them together. We are going to be using 3 of the papers that are least appealing to me, only because they're not appealing to me. So if I cut them into smaller pieces, maybe I can make them into something that's more useful in any of my craft projects. So I'm going to cut these pages down into 4 by 4, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly do that. Also, this paper, if you can hear it, is a little bit thicker than this paper, so I'm going to do 2 different sews. I'm going to sew this paper, which is a little bit thicker, scrapbooking paper, versus the color box paper. I figured that we could do this together, but I'm just cutting it 4 by 4, and I'm right on the line. I stated in the previous video that I struggled with cutting paper before, so now I try to make sure that all of everything that I'm supposed to be doing is flush with all the lines and right on the mark. So I can't blame anyone for error besides myself, even though I do think that some of the tools that I use may be slightly off, and I haven't changed my cutting blade yet, and I probably won't do it on this video. And since I'm only going to be only need 1 strip of each paper, I think we're doing okay on time, but if I find that I'm jabbering too much, I will definitely cut it down. I will go back to pausing and playing, pausing and playing. But this is just a fun little quick project to see how it works. My little roommate is taking a nap, and he should be waking up in another hour or so, so we'll see how that goes. And I hope everyone is having a great day, whatever day you're watching this video. I'm having an awesome day. I want to share with you what I'm going to be making for dinner, which is nothing fancy, but salmon and baked sweet potato and broccoli. I need to increase my greens and decrease my non-green eating, only because I feel like I am not being as health conscious or cautious as I can be. So I'm going to be working on that. I stated, by now you've seen the video where I'm talking about that I miss my mom, and she's been on my mind a lot lately. When I say this, I don't want anyone to get offended or anything like that, but I don't know if I truly, well, I can't say I don't believe it, but I don't know about, you know how people say when someone passes away, they come and visit you in your dreams. The jury's still out on that for me, only because when my mom passed away, my aunt says she visits her all the time, but I've only spoken to or talked to my mother once since she's been gone, and that was before my baby was born. So I cut this at the 3-inch mark because I'm going to sew it right there. And just real quickly, when I was pregnant, I didn't tell anyone I was pregnant with my baby because I'm an old lady when it comes to childbirth, and so I was considered high risk, and I didn't really want anyone to know in case bad things happened. So to keep a long story from going in too much detail, I'm going to put this one first, just like that. She came to me, and she told me I looked like I told her, maybe she told me I looked like I was getting fat, and I was like, yeah. And she was like, you look like you're pregnant. I was like, well, I am. And she was like, well, when are you going to tell everybody? And I was like, I'm waiting to tell you. And she said, well, I know now, so you can go ahead and tell everybody. And so when I had that dream, that is basically when I sent out the expecting announcement stating that I was expecting, or that we were expecting, even though I carried the baby. I guess it was the right thing to do to claim that he was expecting too, right? So I just put it on that little line, and hopefully my scoring is not too much off. Excuse the whiteness. The white has been bouncing back off. Even though this is white, it's been bouncing as well. So I have those two dueling with each other. And again, I told you on the previous video that this clunk, 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 clunk is my only dislike. And I have it on high for high speed. If you can't really tell, but it is a light in here. So I guess if you were crafting by dark, you may be able to see it. But I have studio lights on, not really just desk lights. So here we go. Where's the pedal? I need to start the car. Oh, I unplugged it. Okay, so right there, as I took my hand off the paper, it did get a little bit crazy. Okay, so let's pull this out. I really don't like, that's the only thing I don't like, and it has nothing to do with this machine. It's definitely operator error, because it happens on my big sewing machine as well with that. And I chose to do it backwards because, as you all know, on the other video I had a lot of lumps and bumps in the paper, so I have more lumps and bumps, so, and it's all nice and smooth on this edge. So maybe for paper I should do it in the opposite direction, but that's okay. So I am very happy with how it turned out. The only thing for this one is I probably should have made my sewing lines a little bit looser, because now it kind of looks like tear paper, which is fine. I do plan on using this, so it's okay. Now what I want to do is get the color box, and I'm going to keep it in its full size, but I am going to change the size on the sewing machine, the stitch pattern. And I'm just going to pull out some colors. I'm going to get this blue and green and yellow. This color. And I'm going to do 3 sheets, even though this is way less thick than the other color. I'm still going to keep it that same way. And what I hope I can do is sew right along these black lines. And since I did it backwards this time, I'm going to do it frontwards just to see if it's operator error or if it's camera. I mean, sewing machine. And right now I'm just checking the settings so you can see, and I have it on the closest one, so I'm going to put it on the middle one. And I'll probably use the middle pattern as the pattern for paper. When I'm doing clothing or material, I think it's important to have a tighter stitch. So I put the foot down, match the paper up as best as possible, and let's see. Let's go. And I'm just going to pull this aside. I guess I'm really stingy with how much I pull out, only because I don't want to have to rethread or put new bobbin in. Okay, so here is this one, and I went off a little bit right here because I don't think sewing this paper is not a good guide because there's not enough room to slide. And you see I have like my little, well, one finger over there, and the stitching pattern is a lot looser. Come on, camera. A lot looser than this one. I may even have to use the last stitching pattern, but it is what I wanted it to do, and I didn't score it. Even with this paper I can probably rip it off. I don't know what's going on with this camera. I don't know if my phone is like I don't want to work anymore, or if my little roommate has been fooling around with it. So these are just little samples of what I was trying to see, how the paper would actually, if I could actually sew paper, and I can. And it's great. This machine, again, is a very, if you have a Tuesday morning New Year and they haven't sold all of those little $15 sewing machines and you need something for a quick project, you can definitely do that. And now what I am going to do, not on this video, but another video, I may make a few more of these little books and just put some stamped images or either lines on it. And these could be nice little gifts for people to go in my nautical themed package that I make for someone. It's very cool. I like little books right here, and even you can put stuff on the seam or the binding, the opposite side of the binding. You know, you can stamp things. Like I was going to stamp this stamp out a few times, but I was like, nah, I won't do that on this video because I didn't, the goal was to see if I could sew paper, and I can. So, not SCW, but SO. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate your love and support that you give me. I love your feedback. I love your comments. Thank you so much. Until next time, happy crafting.